Hi.
Hi, Dr. Citri. Shalom.
Shalom.
Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So, my name is Citri. I'm a senior lecturer at the Hebrew University, and I'm establishing my research lab at the Hebrew University at the Edmund and Lily Safra Center for Brain Sciences and the Silberman Institute for Life Sciences. What we do in our lab is to look at molecular mechanisms that underlie neuronal plasticity. And neuronal plasticity is the mechanism by which we create memories. So any time that you create a memory, any type of memory you create, whether it's a new visual cue that you learn or listening to a talk and you create the memory of the words that you hear, you learn a new concept, then you're changing the strength of synapses in the brain.
Even emotions, for example, emotions can be memory?
Yes, emotions use a specific part of the brain called the amygdala mostly. And yes, I imagine that during development, when you learn what is love for the first time, what's hatred for the first time, then you develop completely new connections there. And then when you make new associations of emotions with new people, then you're enhancing specific connections that are making this particular association, whether it's love for a new person or hatred for somebody else. An addiction is also a form of memory, but it's a very severe form of memory.
In what kind of severe form?
So you also enhance the strength of synapses, specific synapses, but in contrast to many other forms of memory, which are just there. They happen and they don't modify your behavior too much unless you actively bring them up, like a memory of something that you've learned, where you search for that memory and you can bring it up. In addiction, the memory actually changes your behavior very dramatically and you cannot reverse it. You lose control over it. It becomes involuntary and it controls you. But it's still, the basic mechanisms are very similar to the formation of any other type of memory in the brain.
So addiction is just some specific kind of memory?
Yes,
somehow.
It's a specific kind of memory, but it's what's different about it is its potency and the fact that it is very difficult to reverse, if at all. That's what differentiates it from other memories. It takes over a large portion of your activity and therefore a large portion of your brain.
So what are the consequences of this kind of statement? Does it have consequences on the research program?
Well, first of all, in my own approach, I think we need to understand the basic mechanisms whereby memory is formed. And if we can understand how specific types of memory are formed, then we can apply these to other forms of memory. If we understand, my lab is interested in understanding what molecules underlie the formation of addiction and how they form molecular networks and how these networks change along time. So if we can create an understanding of these molecular networks, then we can also maybe define points within these networks that we can target for therapy, or that we can use as markers for behavioral therapy to see whether we're going in the right direction and whether where within the network we're changing it.
Dr. Citri, thanks a lot and have a nice conference.
Thank you very much.